We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid, maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem. It blows up, So I'm going to give that one to Peter. We hope it's going to happen, and we're looking forward to happen sometime next week. We want to get our hostages back. We want to get the hostages back.
This is my video update on this Tuesday afternoon, July the 1st, coming to you from Athens. Let's talk about some news. And we are going to start things off with the big Ukraine drone and missile strike into Russia yesterday, where Ukraine sent over 60 drones into Russia, of which those drones were knocked down, and they also launched a barrage of Storm Shadow missiles into Russia. At least some reports are saying these were Storm Shadow missiles. Other reports are claiming that these missiles were Taurus missiles. My understanding of these two missiles is that they're very similar, the Taurus and the Storm Shadow missile. The UK Storm Shadow, the German Taurus, which from what we know, the Taurus missiles have still not received the green light from the United States and from Germany to be used in this war. But there are some analysts and some rumors out there saying that this attack did use Taurus missiles. I can't confirm that. I will go with Storm Shadow missiles for now, but I'll read you a post from AMK Mapping, which brings up the Storm Shadow analysis. The Storm Shadow, the Taurus, sorry, brings up the Taurus missile analysis instead of the Storm Shadow missile analysis. Anyway, the Storm Shadow missiles, most of them were knocked down, but some Storm Shadow missiles, they got through. And according to Russian media, they got through, and images that we've seen on Telegram and on X, they got through, hitting the city center of Donetsk, not military targets, but the city center of Donetsk. The Ukraine military claims that they targeted Russian military facilities. It looks like from the video and the images that these Storm Shadow missiles hit civilian infrastructure. That's the way it looks from the videos that I've seen. Definitely they were targeting the city center of Donetsk, and they had to use missiles, the Ukraine regime, when it comes to attacking Donetsk, the city center of Donetsk, because they've been pushed back out of range of HIMARS and stuff like that. So they have to actually utilize missiles now to hit Donetsk city center, where in the first couple of years of the conflict, they were launching artillery and HIMARS and stuff like that into Donetsk city, using Storm Shadows to attack Donetsk city. That's where we're at right now. AMK Mapping. Let me read you what AMK Mapping posted. AMK Mapping does a good job, but remember, they're very pro Zelensky regime, AMK Mapping. But in general, they do a pretty good job in documenting what's happening in the conflict from a military side of things, from the military side of things. Anyway, AMK Mapping, they posted last night, Ukraine carried out a large-scale missile attack on targets in Donetsk Oblast, Rostov Oblast, and Krasnodar Krai. 2 Mirage 2000s, 4 F-16s, 2 Su-24s, 1 Su-27, and 1 MiG-29 took part in the attacks, in which at least 11 cruise missiles were launched. At least 4 Storm Shadow cruise missiles targeted a reported Russian headquarters of the 8th Combined Arms Army in Donetsk City. At least 2 impacts were recorded there. Additionally, 4 Storm Shadow missiles flew over northern Crimea towards Krasnodar Krai, 4 disappearing, likely being shot down. 3 missiles also flew over Lugansk Oblast towards Milerova Air Base, but were likely shot down. Multiple sources are reporting that these were Taurus cruise missiles, which, if true, would confirm that Germany did indeed send them to Ukraine some time ago. Multiple sources are reporting that these were Taurus cruise missiles, which, if true, would confirm that Germany did indeed send them to Ukraine some time ago. I don't know what these multiple sources that AMK Mapping is referring to. I have seen various reports talking about the possibility that cruise missiles were used, but I've not seen an official statement or anything like that from the Ukraine side of things or from the Russian side of things, claiming that these were indeed Taurus missiles that were used. If it was Taurus missiles, then man, we are entering a new phase in this conflict, a phase where Germany will be considered a very active participant in this conflict. What did I say yesterday, my video update? When I was talking about the German foreign minister visiting Kiev? No one's mentioning this. I mentioned it yesterday. I said that he's coming to Kiev. Most likely he's accompanied by intel people, money, and all kinds of schemes and plots and stuff like that. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just guessing. I am just taking a wild guess. In the past, what I've seen in the past, what I've noticed is that just about every time you have the collective West leaders, these collective West leaders jump on a train and visit Kiev, a day or two later or a week later, you have some sort of an attack against Russia, some sort of sabotage, some sort of an attack, some sort of missile strike into civilian areas. This is usually the pattern, and maybe we're seeing it play out in the visit yesterday to Kiev and what happened in Donetsk City. Once again, this is just a guess on my part. What do I know? I'm just a guy in a park in Athens with a camera, talking to a camera. But that's just a wild guess. Anyway, there are reports saying that NATO Global Hawk was over the Black Sea yesterday as well. All of these attacks into the Russian Federation cannot happen without NATO and without the United States. So always keep that in mind. As Putin is gushing about Trump, as Trump is talking about how the U.S. were the mediators, we just want to see peace. Soldiers are dying, people are dying, it's horrible. These are the things that Trump is saying. Putin is calling Trump a great man and a very courageous man. Everyone knows that these attacks need NATO and they need the United States, whether you're talking about Storm Shadow missiles or whether you're talking about Taurus missiles. And we've been saying on the Duran for a while now that the Taurus missiles, we bet you the Taurus missiles are in Ukraine. They were sent to Ukraine a long, long time ago, and they're just waiting for the green light to be used. So one more news topic from Donbass, and that is the reports that all of Lugansk is now under Russian control. The Lugansk People's Republic has been 100% liberated, according to Leonid Pasechnik. I believe he's the governor of the region, I think. But yeah, the governor. Lugansk was somewhere around 90, 98 or 99% under Russian control. There was about 1 or 2 or 3% that Ukraine still was holding on to. Now Russia holds on to 100% of Lugansk. So let's talk about a very interesting story, which is this row between Russia and Azerbaijan. There is a fight brewing between Aliyev and Putin, between Russia and Azerbaijan. So what is going on? Azerbaijan is now coming down hard on Russia. The Azerbaijan media is running reports in favor of Ukraine in the conflict in Ukraine, and they're running very negative media reports about Russia in the conflict in Ukraine. And they are coming out in support of the Green Goblin. And basically what is going on here is that last week, the Russian intel services, I believe the FSB, they've been going after this mafia group in, I want to say, Yekaterinburg, which is up north. And they've been going after them since the 2000s. And the other day, they busted this mafia group, and this is from Russian media sources. And as they busted this mafia group that was involved in very, very nasty stuff, right? Murders, drugs, typical mafia things. As they busted this group, one guy in this mafia group died of a heart attack, and then another guy died. They haven't specified the causes of his death, but they were from Azerbaijan. This mafia, this was an Azerbaijan mafia group, or consisted of people from Azerbaijan, and Azerbaijan got very upset with the fact that this alleged mafia group was busted by the Russian authorities. So what did Azerbaijan do in retaliation? They arrested journalists, Russian journalists working at Sputnik, and they arrested, I believe, the Sputnik Azerbaijan editor, and Rupli and Sputnik, which are part of Russian state media outlets. They arrested the editor, the deputy editor, and another journalist at Rupli, and they accused them of being FSB spies, of being Russian spies. Journalists working at the offices of Sputnik in Azerbaijan. The office was raided by the Azerbaijan police, and they arrested these 3 journalists, and they're accusing them of being spies. So yesterday, the Azerbaijani ambassador was summoned to the Russian Foreign Ministry, and that's where we are. That is where we are at the moment. I imagine that Putin is going to be contacting Aliyev, or Aliyev is going to be contacting Putin, and most likely we'll get some sort of off-ramp. Most likely. Maybe not. But keep in mind that Azerbaijan is allied with Israel. Azerbaijan is allied, supported by Erdogan and by Turkey. Azerbaijan has had friendly relations with Russia. Aliyev gets along, or got along with Putin. They have a very good relationship. But Russia is working with Iran, right? They're on the side of Iran, though Putin still has good relations with Israel. Russia has had good relations with Israel, rocky at times, but they've kept the door open. They've kept dialogue open with Israel, but Russia obviously is working with Iran, Iran being part of BRICS, and they're working to help Iran in the conflict that they have with Israel and the United States, and possibly help Iran build up its air defenses. And yeah, Azerbaijan may be stirring up trouble for Russia because of the geopolitical picture that is playing out between Iran, Israel, and the United States. We could be seeing something like that going on. There are reports saying that Azerbaijan airspace was used to attack Iran. I talked about an article 2-3 days ago, which claimed a report, which claimed that there were Azerbaijan news hosts who said that there was going to be an operation by the Azerbaijan military into Iran. And also keep in mind the conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia, where Russia has excellent relations with Armenia, not so much with Pashinyan, but with Armenia. And of course, you have the conflict, which starts and stops and may start up again between Azerbaijan and Armenia. Pashinyan was in Turkey last week, kissing up to Erdogan. That was pretty sad, pretty pathetic to see Pashinyan kissing up to Erdogan. But there you have it. So there's a lot of complicated geopolitical things going on here. And you know, Erdogan, he is the patron of Azerbaijan. He looks after Azerbaijan, and he obviously has an on and off again relationship with Russia. He's always playing games with Putin, and he has the same relationship with Israel, right? He worked together with Israel. Turkey worked together with Israel and the United States to coup d'etat Assad, and then they both went into Syria and grabbed their piece of land. And now I believe a lot of it is theater, but now allegedly Israel is upset with Turkey because they're trying to decide who gets what piece of Syria. And I think a lot of it is theater. But anyway, there's now tensions. Allegedly, there's tensions between Israel and Turkey, even though they worked together to destabilize Syria and overthrow Assad. So that's the situation between Russia and Azerbaijan. If I had to take a guess, I would think that Putin is going to work the diplomatic angle, and he'll speak to Aliyev, and they'll figure out some sort of an off-ramp. That would be my guess, but who knows? Maybe the United States and Israel and Turkey, they tell Azerbaijan to keep pushing Russia and keep poking the bear, and let's try to create as much headaches and chaos for Russia as we can. That's also a possibility. It's very possible. So let's talk about Syria. That's a good segue into news about Syria. Man, today is a hot one in Athens. Oh man. All right, let's power through. Let us power through. So Syria, Trump signed or is going to sign an executive order lifting sanctions against Syria, which is good for the Syrian people. It's about time that they've had these terrible sanctions that have been placed on them for so many years. The Caesar sanction is what Pompeo called them, right? The Caesar sanctions, devastating, crippling sanctions against the people of Syria in order to try and get a regime change and to remove Assad. Well, they got the regime change, and now Trump is signing an executive order to finally lift those sanctions, but sanctions are going to remain in place on Assad. So they'll be lifted on Syria, but they'll remain in place when it comes to Assad and I think some of his former government officials or family and stuff like that. But the sanctions on Syria, the state of Syria, They will be no more. No doubt this is a gift to Al-Jilani for saying that the Golan Heights are pretty much is Israel's now. That's basically what Al-Jilani is signaling. Syria is no longer interested or disputing anything about the Golan Heights. Take it, Israel. So that's the one trade that that has happened. You take the Golan Heights, we'll lift sanctions on you, and of course Trump would like to get Syria into this expansion of the Abraham Accords. From what I'm reading, he would like Syria and Saudi Arabia to sign up to the Abraham Accords. So this is what happens when you put in place an Al-Qaeda HTS terrorist as your president, right? He didn't win a vote or anything. There still hasn't been a proper, real election in Syria. FYI, no election has taken place in Syria. Al-Jilani, he's now wearing the suit and tie. He got himself a nice haircut, trimmed his beard, and he's now a reputable statesman, no longer a terrorist who headed up Al-Qaeda and HTS in the region. And who knows how many what terrible things Al-Jilani did, not only to civilians, but also to American soldiers, right? You have to imagine that if he was part of Al-Qaeda and HTS and Al-Nusra, he probably did some very terrible things to U.S. military as well. But no matter, he has now cleaned up his act. He's reformed. He's changed his way. He's changed his ways, and we are now going to lift sanctions against Syria, which is a good thing for the people. I'm all for the lifting of sanctions against the Syrian people. I just wish they had an elected president who did not have a $10 million bounty on his head just last year, and who has not committed and continues to commit terrible atrocities against Alawites and Christians in Syria. And I'm pretty well informed on Syria from Syrians living in Cyprus who are lucky enough to escape Syria and make it to Cyprus, and they have told me all about the horrific, terrible things that Al-Jilani has been doing to Christians and Alawites. But that's the situation in Syria. Check out this post on X from AF Post. I think this summarizes the situation very well. From AF Post on X, the White House has lifted sanctions on Syria in support of the new pro-Israel government, which is run by a former terrorist. I think AF Post has done a great job in summarizing the situation in Syria. Anyway, Netanyahu is going to be in D.C. on Monday. He's going to be making a trip to D.C. The Trump administration, they have approved, or they are about to approve, this is according to Al Jazeera, what I say is according to Al Jazeera is the brother channel of Al Jazeera. According to Al Jazeera, the Trump White House has approved $510 million in arms sales to Israel as its aid hits a record high. The Pentagon has signed off on a $510 million deal with Israel, including thousands of bomb guidance kits. This comes as U.S. military aid to Israel hits a record $17.9 billion in 2023 alone, the highest since 1959. Am I reading that correctly? Yes, I am. Despite a $3.8 billion annual aid cap set in 2016, support has surged during the ongoing Gaza conflict. Yeah, those ceilings. The U.S. is not very good when it comes to caps and ceilings, are they? Giving more weapons, bomb kits to Syria. to Israel, so they can continue to demolish, destroy, inflict destruction onto Gaza and to the people of Gaza, and then to rearm and resupply, so that perhaps in the near future we may be getting another go at Iran regime change. So let's talk about Trump now, and round two of Trump taking on Elon Musk. So Musk, he is back to talking about politics. He took a couple of weeks break. The BBB, the Big Beautiful Bill, the BBB Build Back Better bill. They love the BBBs, don't they? They really like bees. BBB, Build Back Better, Big Beautiful Bill. What is it with a lot of bees? I don't know. Anyway, the BBB, that got Musk back into talking about politics. And boy, is Musk now talking about politics again, and he is really angry about the BBB. He posted a whole bunch of things on X. He's serious about a second party. He is serious about creating a second party. Right now, you have the Uniparty. You have the Democrats and the Republicans, and they are the Uniparty. And Musk is hinting about creating a second party. He talked about this 2-3 weeks ago, when the first argument between Musk and Trump broke out, and Trump won that one because Elon Musk had to actually walk back his comments about Trump and Epstein, and Trump came out ahead on that argument. But Elon Musk is back, and he is saying now that, and he talked about creating his own political party back then, and now he is saying, I am going to create a second party to go up against the Uniparty, the establishment, Republicans and Democrats. Musk is also saying that he is going to primary any senator that votes for the BBB. That is what Musk posted. If this insane spending bill passes, the America Party will be formed the next day. Our country needs an alternative to the Democrat-Republican Uniparty so that the people automatically have a voice. So Musk is saying here, if the bill passes, and the bill will pass, then Musk is saying that he is going to form the America Party. He has the money. He has the money. He has the media infrastructure to do it. Musk can do it if he really wants to do it. He then posted, every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should hang their head in shame, and they will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. Anyone who campaigned on the promise of reducing spending but continues to vote on the biggest debt ceiling increase in history will see their face on this poster in the primary next year. And it's a poster which says liar and a picture of that looks like Pinocchio. It says voted to increase America's debt by $5 trillion. And that is a lot of zeros. That is a lot of zeros, man. And then Elon Musk posted, what's the point of a debt ceiling if we keep raising it? That's right. What is the point of a debt ceiling if we keep raising it? There is no point in a debt ceiling. It's all narrative and marketing. That's what it's all about. It's always going to be raised because they can't stop spending. They can't stop the wars. They're addicted to the wars. They're addicted to the spending. They're addicted to the MIC. Trump, he got very upset with Elon Musk, and he posted on Truth Social. Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It is ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far, and without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved, in all caps. That is a warning. We're going to weaponize Doge against you. And if you don't shut up, then perhaps we're going to weaponize Doge against you, and you can go back to South Africa. No more subsidies. Close up shop. Take your rockets. Take your Teslas, and go back to South Africa. What a statement from Trump, huh? Yeah, I don't think Musk and Trump are going to be friends ever again. I don't think so. Anything's possible, though. In politics, anything's possible. Trump used to call Rubio little Marco Rubio, and now they're best of buddies. Secretary of State Rubio. Rubio is still the NSA guy, isn't he? He's still the National Security Advisor. Ted Cruz and Trump, they used to despise each other, and now they're buddies. So who knows? For the time being, Musk and Trump not on good terms. So in Germany, we have a little accounting scandal, which is breaking out in Germany. It looks like there was $900 million that was supposed to go to Project Ukraine from the total amount of money that the German government allocated to Ukraine that never made it to the Green Goblin, and the German media is starting to ask questions. What happened to this 900 million that was supposed to go to Ukraine? The German media is very concerned about the money going to Ukraine. They are very, very concerned. The German media, very, very, very concerned that Churchill #2 get all his money. Germany's Ukraine aid promise math doesn't add up, as 900 million is missing from the actual budget, according to Bild. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius promised Ukraine 9.2 billion in military aid during his June visit to Kiev, but official budget documents show only 8.3 billion actually allocated. 900 million. Where's the 900 million? Zelensky's asking. Mr. Pistorius, I see here you give me 8.3 billion. You owe me 900 million. Where 900 million? Podolyak. What is 9.2 billion subtract 8.3 billion? It's 900 million, Mr. President. You see, 900 million. Pistorius, where is my 900 million? According to Euromaidan Press, the Defense Ministry denied any miscalculation, citing that the shortfall would be covered by the co-funding revenues and fund returns from the European Peace Facility. From the European Peace Facility, and 10% for the big guy, Mr. President. 900 million and 10% for the big guy. Of course, Mr. Pistorius, always 10% for the big guy. I never forget 10% for the big guy, Mr. Pistorius. According to the Financial Times, around 150,000 Britons will fall below the poverty line by 2030 as a result of cuts to social welfare. This is according to the Financial Times. The cuts are expected to fund increased spending on NATO and support for Ukraine. So basically, Stammer is saying that he really doesn't care about social welfare. He really doesn't care about healthcare and pensions and stuff like that. Who cares? Who cares? Says Never Here. Let's take whatever money we can. Let's take all the money we can from these services that benefit the citizens, and let's pour it into military spending, into NATO, and into Churchill #2. From Deutsche Welle, to prioritize defense, Germany to cut development aid. Germany is ramping up defense spending while cutting funds for development cooperation, and organizations warn of the consequences for millions of people in a world beset by wars and crises. So Germany's doing the same thing that the UK is doing. The two countries that have taken the lead in supporting Project Ukraine, Germany and the UK, they are now openly saying that they are going to take whatever money they can, even if it means taking it away from development aid, from social spending, welfare programs, social welfare, whatever. If they have to take money out of those budgets and allocate it to the MIC and NATO and Zelensky, they're on board. In Georgia, the country, Georgia, not the state of Georgia, we are seeing more EU protests. They're back. They're back. The EU Maidan protesters, they are back in Tbilisi and they are protesting once again against the government, and they want Georgia to go west, to continue its path to the European Union, to act as a second front or a third front or a fourth front against Russia. And they broke out their big EU flags, and they had a little mini protest in the city center of Tbilisi. They never give up. The EU never gives up, man. When it comes to elections, voting, protests, the EU will just keep on going until they get the result that they want. We saw that in Romania, didn't we? No reverse gear, man. I'm telling you, if you're a country that's anywhere near the European Union or being considered to enter the European Union, having an NGO, having NGOs in your country is lethal, man. If you're any country in the world, having an NGO, having NGOs operating your country, lethal, bro. Absolutely lethal. Those NGOs and those think tanks operating in your country. All right, should we do some clown worlds? Yeah, let's do some clown worlds. We've got 2 clown worlds for today, and the first clown world has to do with perfume, fragrances, cologne. I've been talking about this for a while now in my video updates, have I not? Have I not been talking about perfumes and colognes? Have I not been talking about Zelensky number 5? I came up with Zelensky number 5. An amazing fragrance, very intoxicating, Zelensky number 5. I've been talking about Macron's Sauvage by Dior, right? Macron loves to put on the Sauvage. He loves to put it on, and he loves to drench himself in Dior Sauvage, so much so that people working in the Macron administration, they can smell him from down the hall. They can smell that Emmanuel is coming because of his Sauvage. Well, we never really got Zelensky number 5, did we? Zelensky never launched a cologne or a perfume, but Trump did. Trump did. Oh man, it wasn't Zelensky at the end of the day. It was Trump. He actually launched a cologne. I believe he launched a cologne called Fight, 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 right? And that's actually been sold out. That's been selling out. But yesterday on Truth Social, Trump announced his new fragrance called Trump Victory 4547. Trump fragrances are here. They're called Victory 4547 because they're all about winning, strength, and success for men and women. Get yourself a bottle, and don't forget to get one for your loved ones too. Enjoy, have fun, and keep winning. Go to gettrumpfragrances.com. I knew we were going to have something with cologne and perfume and fragrances. I was thinking Zelensky. Macron uses Dior. That's already an established fragrance. But I was thinking Zelensky number 5, man. Yeah. Trump. Victory 4547. That's the fragrance, everybody, as announced on his Truth Social. And finally, since we're talking about Macron, how about Candace Owens? During her show yesterday, she had a secret to reveal. She had a little secret that Candace Owens to reveal. Her secret was that Macron had visited the White House. He flew to the White House so he can speak to Trump about Candace Owens stopping her video reports on Brigitte Macron. And according to Candace Owens, Trump actually called her to tell her that he was speaking to Macron, that Macron flew to DC to speak to him about her and her reports on Brigitte, and to stop the reports on Brigitte. And Candace said that Trump told her, and one of Trump's aides, who also spoke to her, told her that Macron had specifically told Trump that he is not going to help negotiate a ceasefire, a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine unless Trump can get Candace to stop reporting on Brigitte. Something like that. Basically, Candace was saying that she could be the one, if she stops reporting on Brigitte, she could have been the one who got peace between Russia and Ukraine. Because Macron was telling Trump, I can get peace between Russia and Ukraine, but I can't do it if Candace continues to talk about my wife. What a bizarre story. What a bizarre freaking story. Do you guys believe this? Do you guys believe that this is true? I think this is. Oddly enough, I think this is true. I don't know why I think that, but it's a crazy world, man. It is a crazy world. Now, obviously Macron is not able to get a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. Maybe he could tell Zelensky to agree to Russia's terms, but that's not realistic. Macron does not have that kind of power. The U.S. could get Zelensky to agree. If the U.S. really wanted to, they could get Zelensky to agree to Istanbul Plus. But Macron, I don't think he has that kind of power. Not as much power as the United States when it comes to Project Ukraine, even though it is Macron's guys that are protecting the Green Goblin. So I don't know. I could see this as BS, but I could also see this as really happening. I don't know. The story about getting peace between Russia and Ukraine, Macron saying that's nonsense. That's absolute nonsense. But Macron flying to DC and telling Trump to contact Candace and telling her to stop, that's possible. Why not? It's a crazy world, man. It's a crazy clown world. Let me know what you guys think. I will end the video there. TheDuran.locals.com. Check us out on X. Check us out on Rumble. And go to the Duran shop, pick up some merch like what I'm wearing in this video update. There is a link in the description box down below. Take care.